This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at International City Theater for their presentation of August Wilson's Fences.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm with...
Good evening, Greg Daniel. I'm the director of the production tonight. Fences was just opened at International City Theater this evening.
Okay, now question. Why do you decide to do this play?
Oh my God, first of all, it's a Pulitzer Prize winner. It's one of two Pulitzer Prizes that the playwright wrote, August Wilson. So you get a chance to handle material like that, you got to go for it. Plus, there's something very timely about it. About, you know, the preoccupation of American theater is the family, and this father-son relationship in this family is as poignant and as resonant as it's ever have been. So that's why we wanted to do the play.
Great, I love the play. I loved it.
Yeah, I was very proud of what we've done, and I hope it brings in law. August Wilson's never played at International City Theater, even though nationwide they do tons of production of his, so hopefully this will introduce Long Beach audiences to August Wilson, and hopefully we'll do some more. Hopefully ICT will do other August Wilson plays.
Great. Do you think there's a difference between, say, black theater and non-black theater?
No. I mean, theater still, it's about, I think there's certain rhythms and language and things that are specific to a cultural or a racial group, but theater is still about the humanity, general humanity of people. I mean, people come and see this show, and it can touch a black family, any kind of family situation it will touch. So no, I don't think it's there is black theater in that there might be some specific references or cultural things, but in terms of the larger world of theater and being able to reach out and touch someone, no, theater is all the same.
Well, I do like the fact that there is a type of theater where you can go see this type of history, this type of acting and all that. That's purely African-American centric.
I agree. No, I agree. I think August Wilson specifically wrote about African-American stories. He wanted to highlight, for each decade of the century, he wanted to write a play. And he wrote 10 of them. Pardon me, before he died, he wrote 10 of them. So there is something in the African-American diaspora that is important with his work. And it is fun to see, just like I go see other families' plays or whatnot with a specific group. Yeah, because again, it's this diversity. The more stories we get up there on stage and on film, different kind of stories from different kind of racial groups, sexual orientation, the better it is for us as a society at large.
I was really impressed by the cast here. I loved every single performance in there. What do you look for in your casting?
Well, you know, first the facility with the language. There's a lot of language. August Wilson was a poet as well as love for music. So within his language, there is a kind of demand that the actor has to have this vocal facility. They have to have breath. They have to have elocution. So I look for that. And then I look for how them understanding the material. Is what they're saying evidence of some deeper understanding of the material. So you can tell it rather quickly, though, because, again, with a playwright like August, Pulitzer Prize-winning play, you can tell when someone's understanding the situation. Experience, if they've had experience doing August Wilson plays or plays, period, I look for that. So we were very lucky. We got some terrific actors for this production.
Yeah, I also know that, well, Shakespeare, English plays, accents, they actually have a meter to them.
Yes.
The French have a meter too.
Right.
Yeah, the French have a meter too, like Moliere.
Yes.
Does the African American plays or this type of play
this
have
one
a
does.
meter?
I think so. Different. There's definitely a musicality to and a tonality to Wilson's plays. You have to find it, though. I mean, it's there, but if you give yourself over to it and you have some facility with language, you will find it. I think that's what makes him very special, and that if you find the musicality of the language, you're halfway there. So yes, but you have to be, you have to be adroit at doing it. So we got actors who were.
Okay, one last question. Sure. A lot of people who listen to my show, they're community theater actors. They're like, they've been trying to get a big break for like 15 years. They're being paid nothing.
Right.
What kind of advice can you give them to help them along their way?
Get training. I mean, go do plays, go to classes. I mean, when you get out there, it's a big world out there. It's terrific actors who sometimes don't work either. You want to be, when you get that shot, that thing that comes along, you want to be at the top of your game. You should be reading plays, you should be seeing movies, you should be studying. You should know all that. So when that chance comes along, you're ready. I don't understand when people say, I've never done Shakespeare, I don't know this playwright. I go, well, wait a minute. If you're an actor, you have to be familiar with all of that. It will just make you more versatile. You want to be versatile and flexible. If you only know one kind of a play, then you're not going to get hired. Hollywood's about looking for versatility. So get versatile, study your craft, and be as flexible as you can.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
My pleasure. Thanks for the questions. I thought they were excellent.
Hello, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm with...
Hey, this is Michael Shepard. How are you? I am the Artistic Director of Celebration Theater, www.celebrationtheater.com, and I am just a Los Angeles actor by way of New York, by way of Chicago, by way of a little town in Illinois. I play the character of Troy. Troy is the patriarch of the family. He is the husband and father. He is the breadwinner. He is the person who sort of propels everything within the play.
Well, first of all, one thing I have to say is I loved your performance. I just loved it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Where did you draw all your character from?
Well, I think Troy, for me, is a mixture of both my father, who was an amazingly great man who absolutely loved his kids and wanted everyone to be right, and also just watching how the men in his life sort of lived through that time period when I was younger, and watching them, and also how it affected my brothers too. So yeah, that's where I sort of got the inspiration to play him.
Well, first of all, also as an artistic director, what's it like being part of an African-American company?
The show is it's an African-American show because it's written by an African-American playwright about the Black experience. But I think the entire story sort of surpasses that, and it becomes a human story. It becomes an American story. It's a story about a father who wants to impart wisdom on his children without trying to repeat the past, and due to certain circumstances, the past sort of pops back up, and it influences everything that happens in his life. So it's more of while it is a Black story, it is also an American story. It is an everybody story.
I also have a question. This has to do with race. I've seen some actors, say some Asian actors, during the time period of, say, the 60s, they would not play demeaning roles, but during a little earlier period, the African-American actors would actually play very demeaning, I'd say insulting roles, in my opinion. But now you fast forward, and now you see some of the most powerful people in Hollywood, some of the most richest people in Hollywood are African-American. There are no really great, hardly any really great Asian actors. What are your comments on it? Do you think they did it right? Do you think the Asian Americans aren't doing it right?
Well, it's so funny because I'm friends with George Takei and several other Asian American actors, and I believe that it's not that the actors of color have done anything wrong. It is getting the people who are not of color to accept us and bring us in and to tell our stories truthfully and honestly. When you talk about the fact that there were stories that were being told with white actors in yellowface, for example, I mean, those things, and it still happens today. And there's a protest about it. There's, because it's ridiculous. But it's about changing the perception of the white producers, changing the perceptions of the white directors to say, you know what, I want to tell this story. I want to hire actors who actually have lived that experience to tell that story. And I think that becomes the difference. Just making sure that we keep directors and artistic directors and producing directors and producers on point and on task and say, listen, these stories are just as important as stories from a non-colored perspective. And you have to produce these stories. You have to tell these stories because people are coming and asking for these stories. There's not just, you can't whitewash everything. You can't. So you have to start listening to what's happening. We are no longer a society where it's just ruled by white heteronormative males. It's like we're a society now that is completely diverse, and we have to look at that and really take that into account when we are producing plays and movies and television.
Well, I loved your performance, and I love this piece.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming and taking the time out and supporting live theater, whether it's in Los Angeles or Long Beach or Woodland Hills. It doesn't matter. As long as you're supporting live theater, then you're doing something great as far as I'm concerned.
Great. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm with
Matt Orduña. I'm originally from Texas and Nebraska. Studied in University of Washington's professional actor training program. I played Gabriel, which is Troy's younger brother. He is someone who has been shot in the head in the war. and so he's mentally stunted, and he spends a great deal of the play forecasting what's going to happen as far as the Judgment Day. He has a fixation with the afterlife and getting into the pearly gates.
Well, first of all, I really liked your performance. I really liked your performance.
Oh, thank you.
And in general, I like the play, but your performance in particular, because again, the lead actors are usually they're basically kind of like playing themselves, but you're playing a character actor that demands a tremendous amount of acting.
He definitely. The thing about August Wilson is he demands you to kind of go deeper than you normally would, and so the director Greg Daniels was really, really great about helping us to find where we fit and the places where we needed to grow a little bit. And Gabe, because of some of the physical and mental ailments he has, required a great deal of growth and discovery and change from a physical standpoint, also from a vocal standpoint, and then just from a mental acuity. So it was quite a challenge.
I actually spend time with challenged children because of the charities I'm involved in.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, but the way you handle it is actually very realistic, but also extremely respectful.
Yeah, well, they tell you to play what you know, and I actually have a younger brother by the name of Ben who passed away, and he was actually mentally challenged as well. And so I'm not an actor who actually plays my memories, but at the same time, having that experience meant that I was aware of where truth lies and where it didn't. And so then it was just a matter of just playing the truth and then trusting Greg to tell me whether or not it worked or not.
Okay, and also, the people who listen to my show, a lot of them are community theater actors, college students and all that. Is there any kind of advice you can give them on becoming a professional actor?
Oh, absolutely. The big thing is, my belief is that theater is the actor's training ground. It's where an actor can go and storytell, find their strengths, find what they understand, and actually work in front of an audience and work their craft. And I know it's tempting because we're here in Los Angeles to chase film and television work, but if you actually want to be a working professional, the best thing to do is to understand your craft, and the best way to work that out is in the theater, because there you're in front of an audience and you have to know what you're doing, and that always translates into film and television. So you got time to do that, but if you're really interested, the theater is where you go in and you find your chops.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
You got it. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm with
Carol Foreman. I live here in Long Beach, California. I was born in Morocco, Africa. Grew up everywhere. My father was in the Navy for 26 years, but mostly San Diego, California is my hometown. I played Rose, Roy's Marksan. Rose is Troy Marksan's wife. She was 30 years old when she met and married him, so it was a little late in life for her and her dream of being a mother and raising a family. I identify with Rose a lot because she reminds me of my own mother. My father and my mother met, but my dad's from Philly, my mom's from South Carolina. They knew each other 2 weeks and got married, and the values that they had were the family, because they had all come from broken homes, and one of the things they agreed on when they got married was to keep the family intact. So that I identify with as far as Rose's desire to have a whole family. She talks about coming from a family of stepbrothers and stepsisters. So her dream was to have a family.
Yeah, I love the piece, and I loved your acting. I love every actor's acting that was in the piece. But the question I have is, I will never really understand the African American experience because I'm not African American. So can you tell me what kind of experience do you get from this play?
To me, it's about family. We can talk about. I think it relates not only to the African American experience, that is its own specific experience of people coming to this country or moving to different parts of the country to try to have a better life. Whether you're an immigrant, whether you just come from generations of people who want to make it better for the next generation, who want to give their children opportunities to have a better life. And I think everyone can identify with that.
Yeah, I noticed also there was almost subtle stereotypes in there. They did it very gracefully, though. They did it very respectfully. Where it was like getting ahead through music, getting ahead through sports, getting ahead through those methods. But I think they did it very gracefully too. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't say they were stereotypes necessarily. I mean, certainly you can take any experience and develop kind of these gross assumptions about people. I think August Wilson has crafted a really masterful piece in diving into a particular experience. These were people who were really next generation children of sharecroppers, so they were not far removed from the generations of slaves. So many of them were uneducated. And this was their particular experience and their particular dialect and the way that they related to each other. Being, in your family you have your own language. You have your own way of speaking with people. And then when you're out in public and, maybe more of the dominant culture, we all learn these things that are coded. And language is a very powerful way of communicating a particular experience. And the particular dialect and rhythm that August Wilson has created for these characters is based on experience. This is my family's experience. When I hear the way they talk, I hear my mother or I hear my father.
Well, I love the piece.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time and for coming and sharing it with other people. We hope everyone gets a chance to experience it.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm with...
My name is Christopher Carrington. Okay, I'm from Tampa, Florida. I got my degree in theater from the University of Florida. I moved to LA to pursue a film and TV career, and I'm still doing theater to help keep me fresh. I play Bono, Jim Bono. Bono is Troy's best friend. Troy is the lead of the show. He's Troy's best friend, and he idolizes Troy. So in his opinion, for most of the show, Troy can do no wrong. Troy is his leader, his mentor, and he follows him until he realizes that Troy's human. And then when you realize your idol is human, you no longer idolize them.
I really liked this play. I really loved it.
Thank you. We enjoyed doing it. I'm glad you loved it.
But I can't really, I'm not African American, so I can't really get the entire intensity that you can get. What was going through your mind when you're doing it?
There's several different things going through your mind. It just depends on the part of the play. I mean, there's elation, there's joy, there's sadness, there's anger, there's every emotion, the whole gamut, the whole rainbow. I mean, throughout this show, you feel it all. And even you feel a connection to your ancestry throughout this show.
Yeah. Even though you were playing a minor character, say a bit role, you actually had a lot of complexity in your character.
Well, thank you. I don't think there's a such thing as a bit role. I don't think there's a such thing as a minor character. Everybody, whether you see them and hear them too often, they bring something to the show, and without them, it would be a totally different show.
Okay, so any kind of advice you can give to, say, acting students or other community theater actors or people trying to get into the business?
The only thing I can say is just follow your heart. Listen to what you want to express, not necessarily what people you idolize, what they do and what they say. Make your own way and be accepting of your failures.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hi, my name is Asha Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm with...
Theo Perkins, actor in Fences. We're at International City Theater. I am originally from New Jersey, born and raised. I came to UCLA, got my master's in acting, and I've been acting ever since. TV shows, Broadway, and now I'm here in Long Beach. I played Lyons, Troy's son, oldest son. Lyons is a musician, and as Mr. August Wilson describes him, he is more enthralled with the idea of being a musician than he actually is a musician. Struggling husband who comes around to visit his father from time to time to borrow money. And by the end of the play, he takes a little twist, but I won't give that away. So,
yeah, I love challenging characters that are flawed and all that. And again, a lot of the characters are flawed, but I also loved your character, the way you played him.
For sure, yeah. I mean, August Wilson writes all of these characters with with so many dimensions and so many levels, that, you know, and we're all flawed, and we're all trying to make a living, make something out of ourselves. And Lions is a perfect example of that.
So, question: do you think there's a difference between black, for the minority actors? I look at say Asian actors, and I say African American actors. The African American actors have done so much better. I mean, I saw a survey where Will Smith's like the second richest guy in Hollywood.
Wow, I learned that. So I learned something new. But yeah, you know, it's even though there are a lot of folks who are successful within the minority artist community, there's still a long way to go. A long way to go regarding the roles available, the stories that are being told. We have a long way to go, but we've come a long way as well.
Okay. I loved your performance.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm with?
I'm Jamal Simon. I came here from South Carolina. I moved here about 2 years ago. Started in film as soon as I got here. So my last show was Living and Easy, Dying and Beautiful. I was doing that at Theater, and now I'm doing Fences. I play Corey. Corey is basically, he's 17 years old. He wants to play football. Yeah, he's really good. He's athletic. He wants to just get a good relationship with his dad, but his dad is like a rock. It's hard to break. So the whole story is he's trying to, throughout the story, he's trying to just build that chemistry with his dad. And in the end, he kind of breaks down and never really happens.
Yeah, I like the performance. I liked it from my perspective, but I'd like to know it from your perspective because obviously you and I are different. I don't think I can appreciate the same way an African American person. What was the story meaning to you?
For me, well, actually, I'm kind of Corey in real life. Like I witnessed a lot from my dad. My dad was similar to Troy. You know, I witnessed some abuse, and so I kind of like chimed into that. It was kind of difficult, but it was my life at the same time. So we kind of had it intertwined.
I like the reason the play was actually very respectful to, even though again it was a bit stereotypical, where they were saying to concentrate on music, concentrate on athletics. But again, I thought they handled it very respectfully.
Yeah, I agree. Everything was done, and it touched everyone in the audience. Everybody can relate. Like you said, we grew up differently, but you were affected as much as I was. So we handled it in a very respectful way. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you for interviewing me.
August Wilson's Fences will be playing at International City Theater from August 19th to September 13th. For more information, go to www.internationalcitytheater.org or search for AMB Theater, that's all one word, AMB Theater on Facebook.